Okay guys, so what I'm here to talk about today is I'm here to preview the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Indianapolis Colts NFL wild card round. Now, the key to victory for the Cincinnati Bengals is to primarily maintain and work off the field, control the time of possession, and how the Cincinnati Bengals could execute this game plan of keeping Angelic off the field to perfection is by ironically having a balanced offense early in the game and then late in the game featuring a heavy dose of a run. Because I assume that early in the game, the Indianapolis Colts are going to put a lot of people in the back because they know the Cincinnati Bengals are one of the best running teams in the NFL. In fact, the Cincinnati Bengals are 6th in the league in rushing yards per game, averaging 134.2 yards a game and 30.4 carries, and they're averaging 4.4 yards a carry. Now, knowing that the Cincinnati Bengals are one of the best running teams in the league, the Indianapolis Colts are most likely to put 8 people in the back to try to stop the runner and try to discourage the Cincinnati Bengals from running the ball throughout the course of the game. Now, Marvin Lewis most likely knows this, and he's gonna be like, we have to pass the football to open up the running game. But here's the problem. The problem has been that Andy Dalton during the last 2 weeks has thrown picks on the first drive versus the Steelers and the Broncos. So what I suggest Marvin Lewis could do is run some screen plays and let Andy Dalton get rid of the ball quickly to where he doesn't have to necessarily lock on to A.J. Green and look for A.J. Green constantly. Give A.J. Green, Giovanni Bernard short screen routes to where Andy Dalton can get the ball out of his hand quickly and give Giovanni Bernard some room to play make with the football, because then there's gonna be a lot of people in the back. There's gonna be nobody in the flat or on the boundary to tackle Giovanni Bernard. Once you do this on the first few drives, the Indianapolis Colts will be forced to put some people back in coverage, and that'll give Jeremy Hill and give Ronnie Bernard more space to run the football. And then you can incorporate the running game, because as we know, the weakest part of Indianapolis Colts defense is the running game. So once you establish the threat of a pass in the Indianapolis Colts eye, you can feature a heavy dose of the running game, but you just can't feature it in the first two drives, because most likely the Indianapolis Colts know that it's coming, and they'll be most likely to stuff it. Now, as I was saying before, once you get the passing game started early, you can most likely feast with the running game, because the Indianapolis Colts are in the bottom of the league, are in the bottom half of the league in opposing rushing yards per game, as they're 18th in the league, giving up 113.4 rushing yards per game. So once you get the Indianapolis Colts to be honest and stop leaning towards the run defense, then I think you could have a big running game. But ultimately, if the Cincinnati Bengals want to win this game, I would suggest they run it about 33 or 35 times, and only let Andy Dalton go it 25 to 28 times. As a result, you limit his errors, and also you keep the clock moving. Now, Gummy Hill this season has a total of 1,124 yards rushing, 9 touchdowns, and 222 carries. Now, almost all of those rushing yards have come after the Colts game in Week 7. Because in Week 7 he only ran the ball 4 times for 15 yards. Now let's move on to the Indianapolis Colts and what they have to do to win this football game. Now for the Indianapolis Colts to win this football game, it's rather obvious. They have to pass the football because the running game is pretty much non-existent. But if I'm Andrew Luck during this game versus the Cincinnati Bengals, I try to spread the ball around even more than I normally do, because I expect for the Cincinnati Bengals to put a corner and a safety over the top on T.Y. Hilton, because they know that's Andrew Luck's favorite target by a substantial margin. So if I'm Andrew Luck, I try to throw it to Reggie Wayne, to Hakeem Nicks early to try to get that safety over the top off of T.Y. so that late in games I'll have him if I need a big play. Now the Indianapolis Colts have the best passing offense. The Indianapolis Colts are first in the league in passing yards per game, averaging 305.9 yards a game. They also average 7.4 yards per completion, which is fifth in the NFL. And they also go the ball on 15.7 times on first down. So they're a passing team. But here's where the discrepancy comes in, like I was saying before, and here's why I think the Bengals might put a safety over the top of T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Hilton had 82 receptions for 1,345 yards and an average of 16.4 yards per catches. The next best wide receiver was Reggie Wayne. Now Reggie Wayne had 64 receptions for 779 yards and 12.2 yards per catch. That's basically a discrepancy of 18 receptions and roughly about 530 yards. That's a big discrepancy to have if you're a passing team. So I think Angular needs to pass it around just to get the Bengals to play honest and give T.Y. Hilton a chance to catch the football. But ultimately, I'm picking the Bengals to win this game because while Andy Dalton is shaky at throwing the football, I think the Cincinnati Bengals can throw the football, and on top of that, run the football, which means they have multiple dimensions as opposed to Indianapolis, who only has one dimension, and that's the pass. That's it for right now, guys. Peace.